So welcome everybody. As the invite alluded to, we're going to go through SmartOffice Pro today. Very excited for this upgrade. It has been potentially, I guess, a long time in the making and probably a little bit overdue. But it is finally on our doorstep and it will be coming in the next few days. Thank you all for coming. I do appreciate your time. I know it's probably a busy time of year, just trying to wrap everything up. So thanks again. So I guess just from an agenda point of view, this is the things that we're going to go through today. As I said, I'll try and keep it relatively brief for you. Any general questions, please feel free to type them in the chat box. If there is anything more specific to your environment or your office, please feel free to give me a call afterwards or send me an email, and we can address those concerns on the sideline. So what we're going to go through today is just a few PowerPoint slides, and I'm just going to talk around just what's happening with the upgrade, why we're going this way, and then through a few of the key features to do with the Exchange, the new mobile application, as well as some other cool things. From there, I'll jump into the actual applications themselves, and I'll show you around, just briefly around through each application, just so you can get a feel of what it looks like and how it will work as you're using it from an end user perspective. And at the end, if there is any questions, as I said, I'll address those through the chat box, read them out. But if not, if there's anything more direct, please feel free to contact me via phone or email. So, SmartOffice has been around for quite some time. The version that you have been using and the version that you've become quite accustomed to has not changed a lot as far as the Australian environment goes. So we felt it was time for an upgrade. We've noticed that other products are becoming more modern, and as a result, the insurance industry is becoming more modern, so SmartOffice needs to modernise as well. So what we wanted to do was really look at, okay, how do we make this product more modern, easier to use, but at the same time not having to make you relearn an entirely new system and make it, I guess, a whole new reinventing the wheel process. So what we've done is we've really focused around the user experience and the different types of users that need to use this program based on the insurance industry. As you know, the current version can be somewhat complex to learn from a new user's perspective, and we're very aware of that. We've put a lot of effort into making sure that the onboarding process for new users is as easy and seamless as possible, and we've got some great little tools to help with that, which I'll talk about in just a second. But also we focused on the synchronization between the other applications as well. So this one I'm really excited about. We're now working with Microsoft Exchange servers versus the old clunky Outlook plugins. There still is an element of Outlook plugins that is associated with SmartOffice, and for those of you who perhaps would prefer to stay that way, you can do so. The old one won't be disappearing completely, just the official support will be dropped for it in lieu of this fancy new version. So what this means is a couple of things. First and foremost, the syncing between SmartOffice and your applications that you like to use for your appointments, your emails, and your tasks will be very much automated, much more so than it was in previous days. And there'll be options and I guess more of a freedom for you to use the apps that you like to use with your Exchange account to continue to, I guess, work in the most effective way for you. But what this also means is from a SmartOffice side of things, the information that you're sending between yourself and your clients, your calendars, and all those sort of notes is actually getting captured and synchronized in real time automatically into SmartOffice for you. So as I said, it opens up, I guess, the door for many different applications. So for those of you who like to use or like to communicate mainly out of your phones or your tablets, whatever native application that you have on there for your mail, for your calendars and for your contacts, you can continue to use those. The difference is it will now sync back to SmartOffice. So any app that you're signed into with your Microsoft Exchange account will now work with you in the background and make sure that whatever data you're sending and capturing is also getting captured in SmartOffice with minimal effort required on your part. So In addition to SmartOffice Pro, we're also launching a more streamlined, I guess, lightweight version of SmartOffice. There may have been some of you in the past that used the Smart Mobile module with SmartOffice. This will effectively be replacing that entirely, but also is leaps and bounds ahead of anything that was before. So SmartOffice Anywhere is designed for, I guess, the people who are out and about or new users, people who might need to learn the system, so those who perhaps need to engage in work without necessarily engaging in the work design. So this is really for people who like to get in and out, have a simple interface that is responsive and touchscreen friendly, and they can use on just about any device. So it's stripped back. As I said, you won't be able to create things like reports or create workflows in here, but you can certainly use those in your day-to-day business as you need to get out and about. Another one I'm very excited about, and I'm sure some of you are too, based on the feedback, is the browser support is now expanding. So previously, SmartOffice only worked on Internet Explorer, and as days went by, that Internet Explorer had to be used in compatibility mode in order for it to continue to work. You can forget that these days, and with the new version of SmartOffice Pro, it'll work on Chrome as well. So we've opened up that browser support, and also with Internet Explorer, you don't need to use the compatibility settings anymore. You can freely use it as it was designed. It will work on other browsers, but in terms of an official standpoint, we have gained certification for these two browsers in particular, and the reason for that is that they are the most popular browsers on the planet, regardless of what perhaps the nice people at Apple may say to you. So these two browsers are now open, so any device that you use Chrome on, you can now access SmartOffice with, and likewise with Internet Explorer. So where that leaves us is three essential key areas that we've focused on for SmartOffice and how we have tried to enable you as a user to get the most out of it. So we're looking at a desktop version, which will be called SmartOffice Pro. So that's your full-featured, full toolset administrative tasks. Everything can be performed and set up within that program, and that's designed for your desktop. So people who are currently using laptops or desktop computers, this is the one for you. Perhaps those who are doing the work design and need to really control that level of admin rights for people can use this version as they continue to do so. The mobile version, which is very light and easy, is SmartOffice Anywhere. So that one is more so for people who perhaps are client-facing, for new users, or for people who just prefer a simpler interface that is more conducive with how they like to work. The third one is Microsoft Office. So yes, previously SmartOffice worked with the Microsoft Office suite. It now works with the Microsoft Office suite in a much better way, in a much more intelligent way. So it'll help you do what you need to do within the programs that you already know and love. Okay, so that kind of wraps up the overview. What I'm going to do now is just jump into the applications and just give you a brief look around how they look and how they kind of work. So I'll start off with SmartOffice Pro. So I'm accessing this on a Chrome browser. I've already logged in, so what we're looking at here is my home screen. And again, perhaps the first thing you'll notice is the colors are much different, and there's a much more streamlined navigational pane. So in terms of the dashboard and in terms of how the information is presented to you, we tried to keep that as close as possible to what you're already familiar with and that you're already good at using. So a lot of things like reports, how you like to view those reports is very much familiar, and we intentionally wanted to keep it that way. But there's just some added aesthetic benefits. So things that you weren't able to do before that you can now do is you can drag and drop your tabs at your home screen. So instead of setting them up and trying to get them in the right order, if you need to move them around, you can simply just drag and drop those to move them around. The left-hand side navigational menu is now collapsible. So for those of you who like to have a little bit more content on your screen, if you're perhaps working with a smaller screen, you can minimize that side menu now and get a full view of what you need to do throughout the day, and can easily and quickly access whatever menus you need just by hovering over the menu icon on the left side. All the menu functions are pretty much similar, so everything is basically in the same place it was when we left off with SmartOffice, so there's no sort of relearning where things go or where they used to be. All of that is very much the same as it used to be. In terms of the top side, I guess the main difference as well is there's a few little move arounds with the buttons. So the home button has now been given its own little section up here on the top left-hand side, just for ease of use. The search functionality has been refined just to make it a little bit easier to navigate through and try and find how you want to search for things within your system. The Alert Center, instead of being over on the top left-hand side, has now been moved over here with a nice pretty little icon and a little red flag to let you know how many alerts you've got or anything that's coming up for you. The plus symbol is the new way to, I guess, add anything into the system. So there was previously a new hyperlink that was up the top. That is replaced with the plus button. And as you can see, pretty much anything you need to add into the system can be done from here without too much searching. In terms of the SmartOffice desktop integrations, it is now very, very easy to log on. So yes, it is installed on your local machine, and you can log in via the system tray when machine starts up. However, if you log into SmartOffice, all you need to do is click this button here, and that's the new login. It'll give you a little temporary file to download. You click on that, it'll automatically log you in based on whatever office you're signed into with SmartOffice. And over on the far right here, last but not least, is the user section. So each user will now have their own drop-down profile. From here, you can enter into your settings. All the training and support that you used to be able to access will now be here within this drop-down. Just as a side note, we are actually digitalizing a lot of the training guides and the user guides. It's going to be much easier if you need to jump on and find some things or some information. That can be done much easier than it used to. So SmartOffice Anywhere is accessible through here. It is a single sign-on, so you won't need to log on if you want to switch between the two interfaces. It's just very easy. It's just a matter of clicking through, as well as some of your settings and logging in and out can be done from here as well. So in terms of client profiles, again, we didn't want to change too much about this. Obviously, we're aware that you are familiar with some certain functionalities. All the core functionality we've kept as close as we possibly can. So in terms of viewing your client information, everything is very familiar. Everything is very much visible the way it used to be visible, but just with some added bonuses of aesthetics. You'll notice that on the top right-hand side here, a lot of the tiles have changed. So if you're unsure of any of them, they're all available in the menu option here, and they'll give you an explanation, or you can just hover over those icons and it'll tell you what it is. One other thing I will add about the client section is we've added a whole bunch of extra custom fields now. So previously there was some limitations around how many custom fields you could add as a user. We now have blown that wide open. So as you can see, as I scroll down, there is much more to choose from and many more fields to add. So for those who have perhaps felt a little constrained in the past around and perhaps having to prioritize what information they want to capture, there's now a lot more freedom around that. So that's Pro. Hopefully it looks very familiar to you, but it is just a little bit easier to guess around and sort of see where you need to go. I'll jump into SmartOffice Anywhere now and just give you a brief tour of that. So as I said, it's an easy click from the user drop-down menu, a single sign-on, so you can easily switch between the two applications without any hassle. So this is the mobile, or I guess the more portable version of SmartOffice. It's designed to be pretty much preset so that the user can come in, have their own dashboard with their own information immediately at their fingertips. So you can sort of see the kind of information that's getting presented here. You can easily access recent contacts, get a quick view on tasks, appointments, recently contacted clients and prospects, as well as immediate access to your calendar appointments. And as you can see, everything here is clickable. So things like phone number fields, plus fields, adding in new appointments, all that can be done either via your mouse or if you're on a phone or a tablet, you can be done by pressing the screen in that location. So the same sort of principle applies to the side menu. It's collapsible to give you more content viewing on your screen. And you can jump in here and enter in, do client searches. and check out basic information for the client, quickly shoot off an email from here, give them a call from your device, check out SmartPad notes, their policy information, whatever opportunity processes they may be involved in. So it is basically everything that the user would need who doesn't need any administrative tasks. And again, if I was looking at this on a mobile device, I'll just resize the screen, and it just automatically scales to whatever size screen I'm looking at. So if I was on some sort of mobile, it would be roughly this size. You can see it's just realigned the menu options down the bottom, so I can scroll up and down, again, click on things, and access whatever I need to from there. All right, so last but not least, I'm just going to jump into Outlook and just show you the improvements, or I should say the major improvements that we've done in here. Previously, the old version of the plugin was getting a little clunky and starting to break. So what we've done is made some major enhancements around how it communicates to SmartOffice. So as I mentioned, Smart Exchange and the Microsoft Exchange servers will talk to each other in the background for you. So what that means is that you can jump into an email from a client, and I've used Ausbroker's guru Mike Davies here. I hope he doesn't mind, to set him up as a demo client. But what I'm looking at is an email from Mike, and right at the bottom of the email is a SmartOffice pane. So this is a new addition to the new desktop integrations. And what I can see here is all the information that has been captured within SmartOffice and is being shown to me from within Outlook. So I don't necessarily even have to leave Outlook if I'm comfortable working around that all day. I can get an email from someone. As soon as I open that email, it'll show me all the details down the bottom, as you can see here. So we can show things like contact details, SmartPad notes, and these can be added to from within Outlook. So if I actually wanted to add a new note, I can type that in right here, hit OK. That'll save it in here and also sync it back to the SmartOffice record as well. Activity logs, same principle applies. I can quickly have a look at recent activities as well as add new ones in right from here. Any documents that I've saved against this client file in SmartOffice can be accessed through here as well, and these are all clickable. Letters that I've sent from SmartOffice can also be viewed here as well, along with top-line information around policies and also opportunities. So it's a very handy little tool, and hopefully this makes your life a lot easier. I know it's certainly going to make mine a lot easier when I start using this internally with my version. It's a fantastic improvement to the old version. So say, for example, I've got an email from somebody that is a new client or a new prospect and I don't have them in the system yet. You can also add them into SmartOffice from within here. So I've asked our marketing guru to send me just a test email, just so I can show you how that works. So for example, this is from someone that isn't already in SmartOffice. And just so I'm being transparent, I'll show you that I haven't already preset that up, just in case there are any skeptics in the audience. So if I do a quick search for Felicity, it'll see there's no matching record in the system. So I'll just jump back into Outlook. So I've received an email from her. She wants some more information about blah, blah, blah. So all I need to do is hover over her email, and I'll add her as a contact into Outlook. Okay, I'll keep everything the same, and I'll hit Save. And now if I jump over into the contact section of Outlook, I'll see here that I've now added Felicity Both as a contact, but it does not exist in SmartOffice. So all I need to do is just simply click that link, add to SmartOffice now. It will create that record for me in the background without me having to do anything, and then it will reload this SmartOffice pane to then show all those tabs that we saw before for Mike Davies. So as you can see now, there's nothing in here because I haven't actually gone into SmartOffice and added that all. But straight away, I can begin working on it. It'll show that, yes, I've created the user and done this and done that. I can immediately add SmartPad notes. I can upload documents and so forth. So it's really, really handy. It's really intuitive, and it's obviously designed to help you get through your day as easy and as quickly as possible. Okay. that's just about it in terms of what I'd like to show you today. So what I'll do is I'll just stop sharing the screen.